Welcome to the year 2023. As I record this, we are in the middle of the second month of 2023. And what has 2023 shown us to this point? It's showing us that we have an increasing challenge in order to be successful in this world. The consumer of 2023 is getting more and more price conscious. The consumer of 2023 is a victim of paranoia in most cases. The customer of 2023 is looking for you to really up your game. The last 2 years have been really easy. Sales have come forth. We've been able to get our price. But what we've seen is we've seen a challenge in the economics that American consumers are facing. They're seeing rising prices. And as you look at your own business, is this not true in what you're presenting? Are the prices not much higher than they were just a short year ago, 2 years ago? Because your price of doing business has went up dramatically. The price of the materials that you use. So here's what you've got to remember. You have this pool of people out there, and we call them prospects. And what do? We market for these prospects. They're actually suspects to call our offices. And you've got to remember what they're looking for when they call your office. They're looking for people that can understand their issues. They're looking for people that can understand. They're looking for people that can offer empathy towards the situation. And it's going to be in the communication that you have with these customers when they call in, if you're going to be able to take this prospect and turn it into a customer. But this is just the beginning of the customer journey. The customer journey from this point forward is now we've got to turn this prospect into a customer. And the customer who's inviting us into their home across their threshold, come to my home, provide a service. And what are they looking for? They're gauging your performance. You see, that's what a service call is. The service call is actually an audition. It's an audition for the big job that they really need done. Because the things that you service, the fireplace, the chimney, the appliances, the gas appliances, no matter what it is, usually just about every one of them needs something done. They need repairs, they need replacements, and you're the perfect person to offer this to them. But what you've got to do, you've got to convince this customer. You see, today's customer has the following characteristics. They are smarter than they've ever been in our lifetime. They have access to more information. They're going to be able to check behind you and verify the opinions that you offer are truly the right opinions. And they're going to find a lot of false information out there. So, what you've got to do whenever you make that home visit, you've got to build the trust and the relationship. That customer has got to believe in what you say. And this is going to come about from the communication that you do with your customers. Do you truly listen to the customer? Do you speak to them with understanding? Do you listen more than you speak? Do you analyze what the customer is telling you so you can offer the solutions that they want to buy into? See, that's what your purpose is. You've got to get the customer bought into it. So they're smarter than they've ever been. They have backup information all over the internet. They're going to be looking at YouTube videos. They're going to be Googling. And we have this massive, massive amount of information. Some of it is going to be right on target, and some of it's going to be wrong. So you've got to prepare your customer for this. And again, this comes from the communication that you're setting up with the customer and the communication that you have with them. They're also becoming much more price conscious. They've been hit with all these prices. And remember, this customer probably called you to their home expecting to spend a couple $100. And here you are telling them it's going to cost them thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of dollars to have what they thought they had before you ever arrived on site. And this is also where we're trying to build that trust and relationship to where they give you a fantastic review on Google. They recommend you to others. They give you testimonials. So again, price consciousness, it's out there. Today's consumer is less optimistic. Things are coming at them from every aspect. We've got balloons floating over America. We've got unidentified objects that are being shot down by the military right now. And this is causing the customers to become less optimistic towards the future. Again, this is going to require you to listen and communicate with empathy for your customers. They're also going to be hit on more by competitors than they've ever been. The majority of your customers, yeah, they're going to be watching social media. So, what's your social media approach? What are you saying to your customers? How are you speaking to your community? How are you identifying yourself as the expert, the community expert in what you do? These are all the important things. Being able to do the quote on site, being able to offer it to them in a manner that they can understand, being ability to introduce this and ask the questions. Simply saying, I'll send you a quote, doesn't give you an opportunity to explain this. So the successful people in business, they are sharing the quote at the home. When you're at the home, you have the highest amount of attention with that customer that you're going to have during your entire relationship. Sending a follow-up proposal later, it's not as good as providing that price while you're there. This means you've got to be able to prepare this quotation, share it with the customer, and explain it to them. But then it goes further. You've got to do follow ups. You've got to be able to follow up with the customer. You got to be able to contact them, not to push the sale, but making sure that they understand what needs to be done. Often you're going to be dealing with one of the partners in ownership of the house. So, what information does the other partner that shares ownership and could be the decision maker in the home? How are you sharing the information with that customer? Again, it gets down to showing empathy. It gets down to showing the customer and sharing with them in such a way that they buy into you. They've got to be convinced that you are the best person to provide for the products and the services that they're looking for. When you put this whole package together, you've also got to track your data. What is successful? You got to develop your power questions. What is a power question? That's a question that just strikes the consumer as nobody's ever asked me that before. So as we talk about this customer journey, what we have out there in the market area that you serve and everyone serves is what we call suspects. And our marketing entices the suspects to turn into prospects. The prospect calls your office. Is the phone answered in a friendly manner? Is everything you do in such a way that it's friendly and it's building that trust and that relationship with you by your customer? Are you following up? Are you truly following up with these people? Or do you just do a quote and walk away and say, hey, I'm done. I've done my job? You see, this is what people in a relationship do. They continue the communication. They continue to communicate with the client, doing the follow-ups, sending the information, answering the question, relaxing the customer. And you also have to understand your customer has perceived risk in their mind. So how are you combating this perceived risk? When you look at it, often this is what happens. You give a proposal. The customer doesn't buy. They go off in la la land. And sometimes you can't get them to reply to a phone call, to an email, or to a text. And often what you'll find is this is caused by the perceived risk that your customer has in their minds. So you got to put the whole package together. You got to stand back. You got to analyze what are your results? What's working? What isn't working? Because here's the whole thing. The year 2023 promises the following. You're going to have to step up your efforts. You're going to have to go to a much higher level than you've had to go for the last few years. It's going to get tougher, but the tough can make it happen. Many people will be very successful in the coming year. Some people won't be as successful. And what we always find is it's all down to the systems, the approach, the communication, the follow up, all these things. So put your package together, develop your personal sales plan, your personal success plan of how you are going to succeed in the year 2023 when it promises to be a pretty tough year. It's up to you. You can make this happen, but only if you're bought in to pursuit of this and follow all the systems for success. Do that, and here's what's going to happen. You're going to be successful. So that's just a simple message to you today because we've got tough roads ahead. And what you want to make sure is you are prepared for the tough road. You've got your systems together. You've got your GPS guidance system that's going to guide you straight to the target. But to do it, you got to follow all the steps, follow the system. If you don't, failure will be assured. If you follow it, put your path together, what's going to happen? Success is going to be yours. So that's just some thought process here in the middle of November in 2023 of how you can make this year a success for you. Appreciate you joining me. I hope this has been some good information that will assist you tremendously.